Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of RIPS Report by Eastland County today. And we want to thank our main sponsors for today's show, Dental Excellence in Eastland, and now one of our newest sponsors, and we're glad to be with RAM Incorporated out of Cisco, Texas. We're actually in one of their offices on location with their CEO, Richard Williams. Thank you so much for being on the show today and taking time out of your busy schedule to share a little bit about some of your history and an exciting year, your 35th anniversary. And we're just pleased to be here and get to share some of your history and experience with us. Without further ado, could you just tell our audience a little bit about yourself personally, kind of where you're from, a little bit about your background, and who knows, maybe something you like to do in your spare time?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. My name's Richard Williams. I'm the CEO of RAM. Kansas farm boy, actually. So I grew up in Kansas and driving John Deere tractors. Moved to California in the mid 70s, I guess, and then came to Texas in 2005 and ended up linking up with RAM in 2010.
Wow. Yeah, I've kind of lived in California and Kansas myself, kind of Fort Leavenworth area.
Sure.
Yeah,
I know where that is.
Yeah,
Right.
So good to see someone that's moved a little bit before. First of all, want to congratulate your team here at RAM for 35 years of successful business here in Cisco, and I have a feeling that with 35 years, servicing your customer base and all that experience, that you might have a number of people that you would like to thank for their hard work and dedication for making RAM so successful. Who might those people be, and what would you like to say to them?
Well, there are so many people that have come through this company. I think in the order of magnitude, maybe 700 or 800 people have worked for RAM through the years. But the key and most important would be Bob Morris. RAM was founded on his R&D work at ITT Aerospace in Southern California. And he planted this seed. Some of the rest of us have watered the seed, and some of us have pruned the plant, and some of us have reaped the rewards of that. But Bob is far and wide the most important person in that long line of people. And his wife Diane maintained and persevered through Bob's passing in 2007, kept this company running and kept us serving our customers. And then the operating teams that have come through and that are here today are what make this company work. There are about 65 of us. And we show up every day and we work to bring value to our customers and to our suppliers and to each other.
Wow. Well, it's great to see that his legacy is continuing, and I'm sure he'd be very proud to see 35 years and healthy and growing, and I think that's a touching tribute to his hard work, and the seeds that he planted are now a tree here. For those unfamiliar at home, could you walk us through exactly what RAM Inc. makes and who your customer base is?
Sure. The company is virtually all aerospace and defense. We build a lot of mechanical parts for companies like Bell Helicopter. We have parts on every Bell helicopter flying.
Wow.
About 650 unique parts that we built for Bell Helicopter. Lockheed Martin is probably our largest customer, and most of the items we build for Lockheed Martin go in their missile systems, whether it's guided missile, Patriot missile, JASSM, ATACMS, PrISM, number of different missile programs. And Javelin missile is a big program of ours, and that our direct customer there is Parker Hannifin. Parker Aerospace. But their customer is a Javelin joint venture, which is Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. So those are some of all of what we build. Particularly, it's injection molded thermoplastic parts, or compression molded thermoset parts, or thermoformed plastic, sheet plastics formed into parts. And then we also do some very high precision machining of either thermoplastics or alloys in our machine shop.
Wow. Well, we won't take all the time to get to know exactly how to do all that. It's very, precise, and I imagine the most rigorous standards are applied to these components that you are able to create. I've heard a few of those company names before. Mm-hmm. So obviously very important work that y'all are conducting here. And it impacts every American and world safety as well. So that's very impressive. What values have guided your company to this point?
So we say it really in many of our opening paragraphs, but we're primarily guided by Christian principles in our relationship with our customers and with each other. And I think really what that means is that we work to do the right thing. And we ask our people to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Most of us know what that is. Mm-hmm. And so when our customer's not looking, we still want to do the right thing. Key focus for us is on-time delivery and parts that conform to the contractor, to the drawing.
Okay. What could you walk us through maybe a typical project and how your process stands apart in your industry?
Yeah, probably the key point of how we stand apart is that we consult with the customer at the design stage of a new product. So our customer will bring to us, their engineering department or their procurement department will bring to us a drawing. Mm-hmm. And it's in an R&D stage in many cases, so it hasn't ever been built before. The tooling hasn't been built before, or the process to build that part hasn't been done before. Mm-hmm. So we're likely, in most cases, the first manufacturer of that part. Okay. So the customer will bring that R&D drawing to us. We'll consult with them and say, well, if you would do this, it would be more manufacturable, or you could cut your costs here. And oh, by the way, you can't do that. No one can do that. And so we have that interface with our customer. And I think that's a real value that we bring to the customer. Right. And we know that when we plug in at the R&D stage of a new product in their ultimate product line, that likely we'll work with that product and build it for 20, 30, or 50 years. However, whatever the life cycle of that particular product is. So for example, in the early 1990s, Bell Helicopter consulted with us on thermoplastic parts in the V-22 Osprey. Ultimately, we ended up manufacturing about 75 unique parts for the V-22 Osprey, and we were the only people that ever manufactured those parts. Now, that was in the early 90s. Here we are in 2025. The last V-22 off the new production line is going across the line right now. So whatever aircraft they have built, we assume that's all they're going to build. But we will have continuing parts on replacement parts on that aircraft for the next 50 years.
Wow. Now, it certainly is beneficial to get in on the front end and, instead of having to go back and do revision after revision. I've been there before.
Yes.
More in journalism, well, not with, components and engineering. But yeah, that is, I do see the value in helping with the R&D phase. What is it like building and keeping a skilled and dedicated workforce here in Cisco, Texas? And what qualities and qualifications do you look for on your staff?
I think that's a very big question. And honestly, I think to maintain a skilled workforce, we need to support families because their children need to have moms and dads that support them from birth through K through 12 education, but they need the community to support that also. And what we do there is we involve ourselves in workforce development, economic development, Chamber of Commerce, and then hopefully that fourth grader who is 10 years old learns his math and learns a little geometry and maybe some fractions and ratios. Maybe they learn that through the balance of high school. And if they learn that very, very well, then they'll come to work for us and they'll be successful.
Okay. Yeah, I see a holistic approach here. Getting good parents the tools that they need to raise successful families here in Cisco, and maybe they'll have the opportunity, like you said, to work at a company like RAM or somewhere else. But RAM seems like a great place to work. What do you see for the future of RAM Inc.? Maybe between now and your next anniversary coming up, maybe your 40th here in 5 years.
Yeah, so right now, aerospace and defense is growing. That's maybe a good thing, or maybe we worry about some of the, international implications to that. But our market space is growing. So our expectation is that RAM will grow, that we'll continue to bring on additional staff. For example, in the last year, we've probably grown by about 15% in terms of number of operators in our plant. Wow. And we expect that to continue over the next 5 years. I would not be surprised if our volume from a revenue standpoint would double over that 5-year period. Now, I don't expect our total employment to double, right, because one of our primary initiatives is continual improvement, continual productivity improvement. And as we become more productive, we're able to produce more parts per labor hour.
Right.
So that'll continue, but I don't see employment dropping.
Okay.
I would expect good growth over the next 5 years.
Awesome. That's wonderful to see here. And I think that this area is definitely primed for, more success and development, and all the ties that we have, and the investment that's being made in this area and aerospace as well. Is there anything else that you would like to touch on for our audience at home?
I would say that I'd want our audience to be proud of this little business, proud that we have a business like RAM in our community. It has worldwide implications. Our products go everywhere in the world. And one of the areas that we're most proud of is being a part of the defense space, because we believe as America is strong, that's good for the entire world.
Absolutely. Well, we would, I didn't know personally that RAM was here until you partnered with us, and I haven't even been down this road that y'all are on, but I see the impact, all the cars, all the workers here, and just walking through the office and seeing, the aerospace, parts that you make, and the helicopters that you put it in, just the models that you have. I knew that this was an important operation that y'all have going.
Thank you.
With that being said, since this is the RIPS report, we have to ask a few fun questions inspired by Old Rip, the legendary horned toad at the courthouse in Eastland, Texas. First question is always the same question, but it's a good one. Who or what would you like to rip a new one?
Those wild hogs, I have to say, are a pain in the front end of my car.
Oh man, I've never hit a hog. I've hit a deer, but I'm glad. I'm glad. I'd rather hit a doe, crossing the street, than one of those.
Yeah, they're a little box of concrete that just runs out in front of you. It's kind of a pain in the front end of your car.
Yes. That's the first answer we've had. That's a good answer. We haven't had that wild hogs yet, but that's a very good answer. Second question: if you could rip into any mystery at all, and learn the truth about it, which mystery would you choose to know the truth about, and why?
Well, I'll maybe go beyond the television mysteries. I would say that the mystery of the next step after this life, one day I'll know the truth of that. I have a sense of what it might be, but that's the truth I'd like to see.
Yes. Yeah. Just, maybe a little more glimpse.
A little clearer glimpse of what that next step is.
Yes, I ponder about that one too. But, you go forth in faith knowing that it's going to be fine with Christ.
Yes,
so
that's correct.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Williams, for being on today's RIPS report. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and your staff's been wonderful to us every step of the way. And, thank you for sponsoring our show and supporting local journalism, and means a lot to us. And those of you at home, if you've enjoyed this show, feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave us a post, and you can find our show on our YouTube channel. We'll have the links in the description below, and you can also subscribe to Eastland County Today. We have a link there to keep up with more stories like this and different than this on our print edition and our digital edition. So feel free to click that link and subscribe. And, again, feel free to leave us a comment with your thoughts. And this has been Levi Freeman with RIPS Report from Eastland County Today, and our good friends from Dental Excellence in Eastland, and our new partners, RAM Incorporated. Until next time, stay ripped.